Welcome to Podadelphia. My name is Dave DiOrio. You can find me on Twitter at @fat_lobster. And I'm joined by two guys that if they threw a party and invited everyone they knew, they would see that the biggest gift would be from me. And the card attached would say, the Eagles are going to the goddamn playoffs. What's up, Gene and Nico?
And there goes
What's
Gene.
going on, Nico? How are you, man?
Oh man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Honor.
Hell of a week for you to hop back in, that's for sure.
Dude, hell of a week, man. I'll tell you what, who else is having hell of a week? Those people that fell on the Jalen Hurts the other day. Jeez.
Yeah, we are definitely going to talk about that. But this is the part of the show where Gene, if he had proper connection issues, would remind you that you can find the show on Twitter at Podadelphia. So make sure you check that out. And that is obviously where we're going to start and sit for a majority of the show tonight. We're going to be talking a lot of Eagles. Nico, going into this week, I know you're a very positive person.
I try.
You do. And you always want the best. You're always like hoping for the best. You're always looking for the best outcomes. You obviously wanted the Eagles to make the playoffs, right?
I certainly did. I was definitely not one of those draft pick counting Eagles fans that are kind of, maybe hoping for mediocrity or less than mediocrity to like stockpile the pick, and get that thing a little bit higher in the first round, along with all the other picks that we've got. I go into every season hoping that we get into the playoffs, man. I want some January football.
Yeah, I mean those picks at the beginning, like at the quarter post of the season, they really started to look like 3 top 10 picks.
Yes, they definitely did.
And now it's kind of all fell apart because all of those teams really have gone on some serious winning streaks here and there. And
Carson Wentz keeps playing. Carson Wentz keeps playing. Yep.
Gene, are you with us, Gene?
Oh, there he is.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Can you see me now?
I can see. We can see. We can hear you, and we can find you on Twitter at Producer Gene.
Yeah, that's where I'll be.
Gene, did you want the Eagles to make the playoffs, or were you looking for a better draft collateral?
No, we did that last year. I was looking for them to make the playoffs. It cost Doug Peterson his job, so obviously I don't think anybody needs to be tanking for playoff positions anymore.
Do you know anybody that was like, I hope they lose?
Honestly, no. I honestly don't think I know anybody that I would. There was like a Dallas fan that I ran into like at a store, but and he was just talking shit. But I'll tell you who I feel bad for is all those people that were scooping up Dallas tickets on StubHub before the Washington game, thinking that game was going to mean anything. And plenty of good seats available to go and see whoever is not on the COVID list for the Eagles next on Saturday night.
Yeah, well,
hey, listen,
like Dallas
it's only
has
a
already
5-day hold.
Dallas has said they're starting their starters.
Okay, great. I think that's
and
stupid.
If we're going by current CDC guidelines, our guys may very well be on the field of that list that was released today, those 12 players.
I think I would start most of our players. I would hesitate to start Jalen Hurts simply because he has a lingering issue that I think could benefit from additional rest. I think that we know that he's still not 100% from when he was out earlier in the year, and we do have a good backup quarterback that can go in there and still win the game. I also think that I would rest Boston Scott, and I certainly wouldn't play Miles Sanders. I don't think he's available anyway, although they were saying that he might be available for the first round of the playoffs.
So your opinion is whatever, 7 seeds good.
I don't really see the difference, but a big difference between 7 and 6. You're going to have to go on the road, and you're going to play a good team anyway. So you might as well have your best chance to win that game. I'm not all for like benching everybody. I don't think you go out there with the practice squad. But I certainly think if it gets to halftime and that game is not consequent, it's out of reach. You let some guys get some reps that wouldn't necessarily get them, and let some guys heal up. The only guy and honestly, if it was not for a lingering issue, I'd say that Jalen Hurts starts at least the first half, but we know he's got a problem with his legs, and if an extra week actually gives him some benefit, we saw him take have a couple weeks off in the middle of the season and come back, not really missing much of a beat. So I'm comfortable with giving him the rest, and I really am worried about our running back situation. So if we have a couple of guys on the bench or in the practice squad that could go in there, get carries, get hit, and get a feel for the game, get a feel for the speed of the game. Kerryon Johnson, I think, got picked up. He was with us in training camp. Didn't play last week, but he is on the bench now. Give him those carries. Let him get up to speed for the game, because we might need one of those running backs in the first round of the playoffs. So give those guys some carries. Yeah, I mean, you'd start your receivers. I don't think I'd bench Devontae Smith. I don't think I'd bench Dallas Goedert. I think I'd play everybody on defense that can go. And I try to win the game, but if you don't, you don't. I don't do anything stupid, and I think I might play a sort of a vanilla. I don't break out any of my trick plays that I've been sitting on all year on Saturday. I think I play a pretty third game of the preseason playbook. A lot of trap plays up the middle and slants. Nothing too fancy.
Yeah, Tim jumping in here with the game on Saturday night, which, by the way, weird flex.
Very weird flex. I don't know if that's like flexing to a better spot or flexing to a bad spot. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that either. I think you would want a good game on Saturday night, but
you think, yeah.
Yeah, 2 and 3 are still undecided. Not even choosing an opponent. You want to sit people to get 7 and not 6. I mean, totally makes sense. I don't know if there's any logic to more reps at this point, or trying to knock off the notorious slow start that we've had over the last like 3 or 4 weeks that we've had to kind of dig out of holes, or I don't know what's going on with that. To me, I would sit everyone.
I feel like at 7 you're going to play Arizona, and I'm comfortable with that.
Nico, you want to see all the backups in on Saturday?
No, I don't, man. It's Saturday night, and we're hosting Dallas in Philly in frigid temperatures. I want to see our starters. I want to see a good old-fashioned NFC East ass whooping of the Dallas Cowboys. But if we're speaking logically, which I rarely do, yes.
I mean, you don't want to win the battle just to lose the war, right?
Right. That's my feeling,
man. I can see the forest through the trees, and the forest is the playoffs.
Like a euphemism show. Got it.
Yeah, I don't think this is the last time we're going to play Dallas this year. That's my bold take.
Because we're going to play in the first week of the playoffs.
I think that maybe if we don't see them again, in the NFC Championship game or something.
Okay, all right. So let's run through the options. So who are the potential opponents? Green Bay's got number 1, right?
Right, they're a lock for the bye.
I think we're looking at either we're in LA or we're in Arizona,
or Dallas or
Tampa.
Which
I mean,
Tampa,
who do you think?
We only lost to by what, 6 points?
But I actually don't think if we're the 7, we could go to Dallas, because I think that Arizona has the tiebreaker over them. I guess it would depend on if Arizona loses. And
you think our best
and Arizona and the Rams play each other, so they sort of whoever loses that is going to fall in the position in the ranking.
Yeah, but we don't know, so it's like
right. We won't know.
I mean, who would you rather play? Who do you want to play?
I want to play Tampa or Arizona. That would be my 2 picks.
Nico, who do you want to play?
I would probably go with Arizona or LA. I don't like Tom Brady in the playoffs. I don't care what kind of drama is surrounding that team right now with Tampa Bay and everything that happened with AB. But, I don't want to face Tom Brady if I don't have to. I'd rather go up against a slightly turnover-prone Matthew Stafford or, we all know.
Yeah, he's been coughing it up lately.
Yeah, a little bit. I just think the matchup's a little bit more favorable for us.
You want to go back and play Zach Ertz?
Yeah, why not?
For old fun, I guess.
For old time's sake.
I personally would like to see them play Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea.
I just want to go down there and just like mess around and see what happens. Like, go down there, fuck around, and find out.
Is there any chance that we could have like an interception run back by somebody with the last name Barber?
Not unless we sign them this week.
Hey.
Or maybe your barber's available, Gene. Your hair looks great tonight.
Thank you. I don't know. Amanda doesn't strike me as the defensive back type, but I don't know.
Oh, Amanda.
Yeah.
All right. Oh,
I have no idea what that.
you brought up Gardner Minshew. I actually
Did
didn't
I?
see. I actually didn't see this report until like the other day. But did you know he like went into Sirianni's office and said like, "What do I got to do to get the starting job?"
He wants to be elevated from assistant to the store manager to assistant store manager. Is that what you're saying?
Chris Mortensen said Sunday that Minshew went into Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni's office after the Week 13 game and asked him man to man on what he needs to do to take the starting job from Jalen Hurts.
That sounds like such a kiss up, like student council kid thing to do. Like, Mr. Sirianni, what do I need to do to get an A in your class? Can I do extra credit?
I mean, look, it's what my employees do on their performance reviews. What do I got to do to get a promotion?
I mean,
And
that
then
really happened.
Is it?
That
I don't
really
know.
happened?
Is it dick move or is it like, okay, well, you talked a ton of shit before the season about competition and everyone's competing for their job all the time. Like Sirianni said, I'm competing for my job.
Well,
We're all competing for it. Competition's great.
I mean, seriously, I think it's a really good quality to have in a guy who's your backup quarterback. I don't think you want a backup quarterback that comes in there whose ideal situation is like, let me carry this clipboard a little longer. I mean, it's a different, I think, way of carrying yourself than Nick Foles. I always sort of had this feeling that, and you can't talk about a backup quarterback in this town without bringing up that guy's name. But he had a certain kind of like calm swagger about him that was just like, I'm ready. And, that I'm ready. And when I put on this green jersey, magic things happen. But I think that Minshew is a guy that, has always probably been told, because he doesn't have the strongest arm in the league. He's always probably been told, on paper, Gardner, you don't really necessarily have the edge here. And pretty much the only thing that he has is this like eye of the tiger sort of desire thing. That's sort of his secret sauce. And I think that, if you listen to what I think it was Urban Meyer was saying when they traded him, was like, you don't want to let a competitor like that go. And I think that this is exactly what he was sort of, saying is this is a guy who, no matter what the situation is, he is going to try and compete, and he's going to try.
Nico, I have a very important question for you.
I'm done.
No, after I read this quote, Nico, I have a very important question for you. Gardner Minshew over the summer when they were talking about the competition with Trevor Lawrence, he was on Chris Long's podcast. And he said, I'll say this, man, in preparation for the competition, I haven't taken a shit in weeks because number 2 is not an option. Number 2 is not an option for me.
Oh, he's nothing but a soundbite.
Nico, but in the annals of Philadelphia sports mustaches, where does Gardner Minshew land?
Oh, dude, he's not even on my radar right now. To be honest with you, what have you done for me ever? You came in and you won one football game, and this whole Chris Mortensen thing, this is news to me right here live on this podcast.
I love it.
I had no idea that happened. And to be honest with you, no offense, Gene, I think it's kind of a dick move. Yeah, great. You want to play. Of course we want players who want to play. But at the same time, we traded for you. We brought you in. You had to know the situation that you were coming into. Or, if anything, you have to know the situation that has developed over the course of the season. Jalen Hurts is our starting quarterback. He's the leader of this team de facto because he is our starting quarterback. Whatever mojo he's created within the locker room, you're going to go and try to like circumnavigate and get around it and do what do I have to do to win the starting quarterback job? Behind his back to the head coach, get out of here. You know your role, stay in your role, stay in your lane. You'll end up somewhere else next year if you wish. I think that's kind of a dick move. Where does his mustache fall in? I mean, if you want to have a prayer of holding up a mustache to the level of, say, an Andy Reid or the fictional Apollo Creed handlebar. No, that was glorious. There's many more.
We got Incaviglia
ahead of you.
Yeah, Michael Jack had a great
Sal
mustache.
Fasano.
Sal Fasano had a great stash.
Oh, guys, go back a little bit further.
Dickie Thon.
Dickie Thon had a delightful mustache.
It was a very Ted Lasso-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
whole host of crustaches in that 80s Philly on the Phillies 80s team. A whole
The
host. Mike
crustaches, they don't
Schmidt
do
for
it
crying
me.
out loud.
Incaviglia is the only one from that team that I would from that 93 team that has the like a Parthenon level stash for me.
Yeah. Mike Schmidt's stash is iconic. That's an iconic Philly
Mike
stash.
Schmidt.
He still looks weird to me when I see him without it. That's
You
what
brought up Andy Reid though. I didn't even
Andy
consider
Reid's
any
mustaches.
Eagles on the stash list.
I used to have a song that I would sing about Andy Reid's mustache.
Really? Do you want
to
delight us?
Yeah, want to sing a couple bars?
Andy Reid, don't shave your mustache, please. I would sing it all the time during Eagles games.
It's very like
was a
it's
crowd
got like a
silencer.
hymnal to it. Like
yeah, it was. It was a prayer. It was an ohm. It was a kind of a chant. It a Gregorian chant.
The
Notes.
The Franciscan monks. I love it. All right. So Gardner Minshew, we talked about. All right. So let's talk about the railing incident.
Oh, it's delightful. Jalen Hurts wrote a letter to the
strongly
Washington
worded
Redskins.
email.
A strongly worded message. Are you bringing it up?
Yeah, I have it here.
To whom it may concern.
Make it very.
I'll tell you who it concerns.
Dear sir or madam.
Care of Washington football team.
I like how he also kind of like gives himself some credit.
Oh, lots of dap for the Hurts.
Through the initial shock, my first reaction was to assist those involved. However, while I displayed calm composure, I understand the severity of what happened and am extremely concerned for the well-being of the fans and the media.
I mean, those guys snapped right up as soon as they saw who was pulling them off the ground. They snapped right up. Their cameras were in their hands so fast trying to catch a selfie.
Yeah, totally.
Everybody was fine.
That event was like legend. Like we're gonna be talking about that for as long as Jalen Hurts is the core. I mean, honestly, could have gotten seriously hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's like hundreds of pounds of flesh coming down from those
fat,
stands.
Drunken Philly flesh.
Disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
The sweaty. Nasty. Smelling like cheesesteaks. Well, maybe
stale
not,
beer.
Maybe not in DC, but yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys: has there ever been an athlete that you had ever hoped to fall on?
Oh man, I would have loved to have fallen on Charlie Manuel if he was still considered an athlete by the time. I would have loved to fall in his lap.
I think it's his birthday today.
It is.
Really? How old is he?
Old?
Over under 72.
Oh, over. It's got to be over 72.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Reggie White. It would have been nice to fall on top of Reggie White.
That would have been a very Coca-Cola moment. I imagine that he would have like caught you with one arm and then like.
Right. I would be like a young child.
Yeah. Yeah. Caught you with one arm and then like offered you a Bible and a Coke.
Guys, I'm not a big guy.
Tim comes through the clutch.
Me falling into Charlie Manuel's lap wouldn't be a Coca-Cola moment. I think that would be tender.
Uncle Charlie 78.
Thanks.
You falling into Charlie Manuel would have broken Charlie Manuel's hip.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
It would not have been a Coca-Cola moment.
He seems very fragile.
It would have been tender and dear.
See, I take it a different way. I think I would have liked to fall into to Jonathan Papelbon and hopefully take him out.
Dude, my elbow would have liked to fall into his mouth.
Get in like a cheap shot or something.
Yep, there you go.
God. Yeah, but like, what the heck kind of stadium do you have where that kind of thing happens?
And it's not like an old. Yeah, it's not like it when I'm wearing my vet T-shirt, but I never heard of any of that stuff happening at the vet. You know what I mean? Like the vet was a dump. I don't think I ever heard of people, but it was not. It wasn't a dump that was trying to kill Philadelphia fans, unless they were killing each other. But that doesn't count.
What field is this anyway? Is this FedEx field still?
Yeah,
it's still FedEx.
Yeah,
this is not RFK.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not like
it's a new stadium.
It's new.
It's like late 90s or something.
Yeah.
No, I think it's even newer than that, guy.
Newer than that.
But it is
Yeah.
not. It's not some. It's not like something that's like a throwback to the 70s or something.
All right. I mean, something broke.
Well, did they add too many extra seats or something? It looks like basically they were
people
being
leaning on it too
It
much.
was like it looked like they were basically being held in there by.
What are you gonna do? You gotta go around every stadium and check the railing and see if 400 fat people pushing against it's gonna knock it over or not.
Yes.
I mean, like what?
OSHA demands that. You guys
Can I
are
be part of the
dads.
testing crew for that.
You guys are dads. It looked like one of those things that you put on the side of your kid's bed to make sure that they don't roll out in the middle of the night. Can you imagine if there were 400-pound men going at those things?
It looked like a chair I turned around backwards.
Exactly.
And put up against the bed. Yeah. Exactly.
Really, what they needed to do was hang a sign that said, don't push on the railing. If they had put some signage up, then, hey, what are you going to
do? What stadium or arena or, I don't know, facility in sports do you think should be condemned?
Oh, that still exists. All right.
Ooh. Can it be not for safety issues just because it's garish?
Sure.
I think you'll know where I'm going with that.
Oh, you're gonna go Miami.
Absolutely. That is the ugliest thing I have ever seen.
All baseball stadiums in the state of Florida.
Oh God, because Tampa Bay is even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
just Oakland A's. Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the Oakland
That's
Coliseum,
a bad one.
but
that's like the last stadium where you still see the cutout for second base.
Yeah.
When a football team play, I mean, like no football team plays there anymore, but yeah.
Dave, what about you? Is there a place that you want rid of?
I don't know. Lambeau.
Oh man, you know how expensive it is to get a seat at Lambeau just for the regular season? My cousin is a Steelers fan, and he went out there to see the Steelers play.
I don't know. Yeah, and you're going to sit on a bleacher?
Basically, yeah.
I get that it's like, okay.
It was $500 a seat for a regular season game.
I'm not a Packers fan, so I'm not connected to like the history.
And it's basically like in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah, they deserve a nice facility up there.
Yeah. It should be in Milwaukee, too.
People are probably killing me about that.
All those Packers fans that are listening to Podadelphia.
Yeah. Just blow up Lambeau. Come on. No, I don't know. I mean, I will tell you where do the Diamondbacks play? Chase Field?
Yeah.
Is it still Chase?
Yeah.
I know it's the Bob.
The Bob.
Bank One Ballpark. That's how.
Yeah.
I think it's Chase Field now.
I think it is.
It's terrible. It's a terrible place to see a game.
Really? I mean, I've always heard, it's got that removable, that roof that slides in and out.
I mean, and maybe because like it was mostly empty when I went there, but it's like dank and dark and not cheery at all. And the pool in the outfield was just like kind of sad. And I don't know. It was just miserable. I did not enjoy my visit to Chase Field.
Seems sort of.
I mean, that would be my serious. Like of all the ones that I've been to them and like this is horrible, that would probably be the one.
All the ones that I've been to that were terrible are gone. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
like the Vet.
Shea.
Three Rivers.
That was my answer. This whole time that you guys are talking, I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, I don't have anywhere other than Shea.
Well,
Shea was just a dust bowl.
Shea almost killed me, famously.
What a great story. Have we told that story on the show more than
probably
times?
I was gonna say we probably have. We probably told it on episode 1. It's the funniest thing that
the last time I was at Shea was at a Phillies game with the two of you guys. And
was that when we did our double?
And our friend that will not be named that had a 7-foot long ponytail. Never forget it. I will never.
That was a fun day, though. I mean, like that was a fun day. We got to Yankee
day.
Stadium and Shea Stadium before
double
they
dip.
closed on the same day.
That New York double dip. It's amazing we weren't killed that day.
Yeah.
Well, the famous story that Gene was referencing, in case anyone's dying of curiosity, is we went to Shea Stadium and
seventh inning stretch.
The seventh inning stretch, the T-shirt cannon comes out. And man, I have never seen a shot so perfectly directed at someone as this T-shirt was hurtling towards Gene's face. I mean, I'm standing right next to him, and I like as soon as it comes out in the cannon, I'm like, Gene, that's you.
It's going right for you. I lost it in the lights.
Like Rager-esque. Puts his hands up, ready to catch that sucker. I'm gonna get lined up here, and then right between the hands,
Right through the
like,
palms.
boom.
Knocked
Gene
me
goes ass over tea kettle over the seat,
literally ankles to the sky.
and then doesn't get the T-shirt.
Some little Mets fan ran behind me, snagged the shirt, and basically kicked me on his way by.
And after that, I started to get really worried about foul balls.
Yeah.
Good times.
Beautiful, Gene. Beautiful.
All right, where did we leave off with the Eagles? So, by the way, a fan. They interviewed a fan who said after it happened, the staff there. So it was Andrew Collins, Eagles fan, says, "quote They didn't ask if anyone was hurt, and they sure as hell didn't ask if anybody needed medical attention. The only thing the staff said to us was get the F off the field." So,
and I can.
They didn't
I can
offer you any
that.
Washington football team swag?
Nothing.
Oh yeah,
no
so we heard
tickets,
that they're gonna announce the new name next month,
February 2nd. Yep.
Oh, are they going to be the Washington Groundhogs?
Groundhog Day, right? Wow, that's weird.
What is it? It's between the Armada. I think I saw Red Hawks in there. I think I saw Commanders, Presidents, Generals.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a lot floating around there.
I really have warmed up to football team.
I actually have too.
I think it's kind of cool.
With that list, I think I'd rather be unnamed.
Yeah.
The Washington Presidents, like what?
Presidents, Generals, Commanders, Armada. There's Red Hawks. There's something else too with red in it that I think is already trademarked. Yeah.
Commandos.
So, Commanders.
Oh, Commanders.
Commandos. Oh.
Would love to see every day here.
Would love to see what those uniforms look like.
Well, it's just Schwarzenegger's profile with the cigar in his mouth from Commando.
Needs a couple extra pinstripes somewhere. I can't tell where.
Are they gonna change like the whole kit? Like it's gonna be a whole different color scheme and everything? Like are they gonna be
same color scheme, red and gold?
Still the burgundy and gold, huh?
Burgundy and gold, yeah.
I don't know. I guess Red Hawks sounds like the best out of that.
I thought they should be the War Pigs.
We got too many birds already. Too many birds.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to have something, around pigs, hogs, that kind of thing. Because I know that's kind of like an adopted mascot. But
or they could be the Washington Miss Piggies. That would be great.
Wouldn't that be delightful?
I mean, the presidents and the generals and the that stuff's all like played out.
Well, that sounds like those NFL Europe names, like the
you already have the Capitals, you got the Nationals. I mean, the Generals have been there like how many times?
No, these are all just rumored names, obviously, or names that they were kicking around. But yeah,
what they should do is every year they should just like have a new corporate sponsorship. So then, like next year, they could be like the Washington Subway, and then the year after that, they could be like the Washington Quiznos. Should all be sandwich related.
All right. So what's going on with Antonio Brown?
I don't know.
This is kind of the fun story of the day. In a wild ass game, by the way.
Yeah, that the Tampa Bay Bucks almost lost to the Jets.
I mean, I work with a bunch of Jets fans, and it was hilarious Monday morning.
Yeah, I bet you they were probably crowing a little bit because they almost beat the champ.
No, I mean, it's just like, how do you lose that game? But anyway, what is up with the? I mean, so is his career done? Would you sign Antonio Brown next season?
You can usually get 2 or 3 good games out of him, which
Antonio Brown has played his last snap in the NFL. He's done.
Drama.
I think he's done.
Do we know what like sort of started the outburst? Like, it went from this guy had been suspended because he was if I'm remembering the story right, he was suspended for 3 games by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because he was trying to pass off a fake vaccine card.
Yeah, him and a couple other guys on the team.
So he was then suspended for 3 games and then came back, had a decent game last week or the prior week. And it's not like Tampa Bay doesn't need him. They have their 2 top receivers are banged up if they're back at all. And Tom Brady, for some reason, like loves the guy. Like he will always go to bat for him. He's loved him since they played together in New England briefly, and basically he was the one that convinced them to give him a shot in Tampa Bay.
AB was living at his house.
Yeah. So that just goes to show you what kind of mentor Tom Brady is. So then all of a sudden you see this sort of wacky outburst that I can't really think of anything comparable by an athlete in the middle of an NFL game. And then the next thing you know, at the end of the game, you hear Bruce Arians come out and flat out say he's no longer a Buccaneer. Like that was the quickest I've seen somebody sort of, run your own career into a ground that I've ever seen. And basically, from what I understand, is basically he ran out of the stadium with just his bottom half of his uniform on to a cop car and like hopped in convinced like a Florida police officer, like hopped in the cruiser to like take him to some place to pick up an Uber or something, or one of his buddies grabbed him. The whole thing is totally insane. But the most insane thing of all to me is some reporter was like, what's the craziest outburst by a wide receiver, Terrell Owens or Antonio Brown, and sort of added them both on Twitter. And Terrell Owens got on and was like, homie, you need to check your history if you're including me in this sort of nonsense. But so when T.O. is saying, boy, you're off your rocker.
You're off your rocker.
I feel like you need to sort of reevaluate things.
Look, T.O. is a great, like on the field, great teammate.
That's what I'm saying. T.O. would never have left a game in progress.
Hell no.
This is a guy that played the Super Bowl on a broken leg. He was not. He would never have left a game in progress. That's not T.O.'s MO. So done.
I have one more sort of interesting anecdotal story to talk about today. Kurt Schilling has come out and said he will not go into the Hall of Fame if voted wearing a Phillies hat.
Well, also
he will not.
I thought he also mentioned another team in that breath.
So, all right. Well, here's the quote. If you take Boston out of the picture, you look where I probably made the ascension. If you believe I'm a Hall of Famer, it was Arizona. I grew up there. I spent most of my life there. And I think that for 2 years, what Randy Johnson and I were and did has never, ever been equaled in the game. So that was home. It was obviously Philadelphia or Arizona if Boston is out. I don't think I was nearly as good in Philadelphia consistently. I was hurt a lot.
I'd agree with that.
It's not a bad argument. I disagree that what him and Randy Johnson did for 2 years has never been equaled. I think that you're probably comparable 1-2 pitchers that have had similar numbers to what Randy Johnson and I'm not saying they weren't good, but I'm just saying it's not something that was historic in the sense that it was never duplicated.
In the same conversation.
Do you guys think that if you are voted into the Hall of Fame, just pick whatever hat you want to wear?
I found this out. You do not get to pick your hat.
Which I think is a little ridiculous, don't you?
You can request what hat you want to wear, but this is not necessarily what the Hall of Fame will decide. I have a example here. Andre Dawson wanted to go into the Hall as a Chicago Cub.
Right.
And the Hall put a Montreal's Expos hat on his plaque instead.
Dawson said the decision was likely due to the fact that
he spent 10 years in Montreal and only 6 in Chicago.
I heard a similar thing about Wade Boggs, but to the opposite point, whereas the Hall was leaning towards sending him in as a Boston Red Sox, and he requested to go in as a Ray since he was the first member of the franchise that would have been eligible to go in as a Ray. Or whatever Tampa Bay's still a Ray. They're not they were the Devil Rays at that point. Now they're just the Rays.
Oh, Gene, don't say Devil.
Right.
Why did they drop the Devil?
I think it offended Satanists.
I thought they wanted to get away from being the animal and being more to like.
Well, that's true. The logo then became more like a sunshine thing. Maybe it was because they didn't want the bad karma that came with like the whole Steve Irwin thing.
Yeah,
God,
maybe.
boy, is that it's
But also
Too
interesting
soon?
to note, because I would think if I was the Hall of Fame and Kurt Schilling got inducted, it's Red Sox for me.
Right? Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, I might
blood
put
on
him
the
in.
Red Sox.
I was going to say I might put him in as with
Blood
a
Red
bloody
Sox.
sock
Red
on his hat instead of anything else.
But in the same conversation, Schilling blasted the Red Sox ownership group, saying it's comprised of some very, very bad human beings. As such, he has decided that he will never wear a Red Sox cap in the Hall of Fame. Again, not his decision, but
Right. That I thought was sort of the more headline
Kurt Schilling
defining.
calling other people bad human beings.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Half the crap that comes out of Kurt Schilling's mouth, and this might get me some hate mail from your listeners, but half the
I
crap that
doubt
comes
it.
out of that guy's mouth. I don't want you going in with a Phillies hat on either, buddy. You go ahead, Arizona. You can have the hat on Kurt Schilling if he ever gets into the Hall, which I think is a stretch.
Looking back on his time here, I mean, what a horrible teammate.
Terrible team.
To sit there in the dugout with a towel over your head because you can't
bear to watch.
You can't watch Mitch try to close out a game for you. Like, come on, man, that's not cool.
Yeah, that was a dick move.
Yeah. I don't know. He's not going to get in anyway, so I'm not really
he flaps his gums too much.
Not worried about it.
So, remind me, did Doc Holliday go in as a
blank cap?
Blank cap. I really don't like the blank cap, man. Just it's not. I don't know. I feel like there should be a better way to do it. I mean, I like the way football does it. Football puts you in. It's a bust. You are you. You are the Hall of Famer.
That's why I think you should be able to pick your own hat.
It would be weird with them all wearing helmets. I mean,
well, I guess that's true. You can't see their face. They're gorgeous.
Well, I mean,
faces.
you have them. You have the bust, of the athlete, and then you have on the plaque you list all of the teams they played for. That's what I'm saying is.
Yeah. Sure.
Everybody gets equal representation, and the dates sort of demark your time there, and then
Yeah.
Because
when do we get this announcement? When do we find out who the inductees are going to be?
Well, I mean, baseball is totally closed, right? I mean, does this mean like it's all of that stuff's delayed, or is the Hall of Fame sort of its own?
That's a good question, Gene. That's a good question.
Listen, speaking of baseball,
I wish there was an informed podcast to ask this question to.
Maybe if Tim's still listening, can you do a little research on that? One of the other things I want to bring up about Major League Baseball, I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you see that Ken Rosenthal got canned today? I don't know if you guys are big MLB Network watchers. I love the MLB Network. MLB Network, of course, is owned mostly, I think, primarily by Major League Baseball. And this is sort of, and I know we didn't mention it because honestly, the whole story had sort of been kept quiet. But from what I read today, it sounds...
Your request has been denied.
Damn. Crap. But anyway, so Ken Rosenthal apparently, since MLB is owns the Major League Baseball network, as the season was ramping up, pre the shutdown in 2020, Ken Rosenthal got on the air and sort of had some colorful things to say about Rob Manfred, who is the commissioner of baseball, and then sort of was taken off the air, benched, suspended for about 3 months, brought back just in time for the Major League Baseball draft or it was brought back just in time for free agency. So, where he's sort of really plugged in. So, but I think this has sort of been the culmination of this sort of thing that I guess this clash between Rosenthal and Manfred. So I guess, what I wanted to ask you is do you guys think that we can trust now a network like the NFL network, the MLB network, NHL network, if clearly any of the reporters that are hired on there speak out against the league, they're just going to get fired? So, I mean, do you think that these guys should have journalistic sort of freedom to critique the league, even though they're on a network that is I mean, if it's a fair criticism, I'm not saying just going on and being like Rob Manfred's feet are big and he smells weird. Like, I mean, obviously, then maybe you get canned. But if you go on there and have legitimate criticism about the way the league's run, shouldn't you have some sort of protection as a journalist, and not have your job at risk?
Dave, you want to touch that one?
So here's the thing. Yeah, much like everything else in this world, you shouldn't get all your information from one source. So if you're only getting your baseball news and information from the Baseball Network or MLB Network, I mean, you're going to get the scores, you're going to get the highlights. I like watching MLB Network because I like the breakdowns. I think they do a nice job with that. I always have like my kids watch it because they really break down the plays and they show them like, why guys do so. It's good for that. If you want like actual news about Major League Baseball, you should read The Athletic. You should, watch other networks, watch ESPN, watch Fox. Rosenthal writes for The Athletic. He's going to be on Fox still. I don't know. Not that worried about it. I understand the NFL Network is, has an agenda. The MLB Network has an agenda, and you have to get your, it's just like you can't just watch Fox News all day and get all your news from there, or at all.
So, Nico, if you say anything negative about Dave, you will not be invited back to the podcast. Just so you know.
I was just that's how simple it is, though. You got to know your audience, but you also have to know whose wall.
That's also baby shit, though.
Whose wall your microphone is plugged into. You know what I mean? Like if you're a reporter for MLB Network, and Major League Baseball is sponsoring that content, and then you're going to go and pleasantly critique it, live stream there. I mean, you have to be prepared for that type of.
Look what happened to Bill Simmons with Goodell, and he got fired from ESPN.
Yeah, very similar situation.
But I appreciate those guys speaking out. Got to have your opinion. And no one can stop him from having a podcast. I know that's a damn fact.
Because we certainly would have been stopped a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
Nico.
listen,
go ahead, Gene. Go ahead, Gene, I'm in wrap-up mode. Go ahead.
Okay, look, before we wrap up, I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's beer. Troy Aikman, 2 years in the process, has come out with number 8 beer, which is a light beer that's going to be available
Why are you telling me that?
In stores, because I did a little research and I found some other failed. And I'm assuming it's going to be a failure because anything that Troy Aikman touches, I feel like should be a failure.
You did research.
I did a little research and I found some other beer and beverage brands that were promoted or set up by athletes. Some are some are local athletes, some are national athletes.
Oh, lay them on me.
No, I had to.
You have some?
No, I mean I had.
I don't know if you're taking your camera.
I thought you were.
I have to turn
or
my
maybe,
camera
or you
off
just
because
turning that fan on in the background because you're getting hot.
that too, but no, I have to turn my camera off because I'll leave it on because I think I can see the notes. Hang on, you guys can still see me, right? You still see me?
Question.
No.
Yeah, but that fan, did that fan come from the vet too with the t-shirt?
No, it came from Walmart.
Or was that from RFK?
All right, look. So I did some research, okay? So these are other failed brands. These are failed brands.
Gene had his eyes closed while he was doing the research, and this is what it came out.
Local and national athletes, and these are some of their brands of liquor and alcohol. I think they're all alcohol. So this is a relatively new one. This one was called Gritty's South Philly Mad Mandarin Orange Schnapps. It didn't do well, so it was pulled from shelves.
Okay.
We had Allen Iverson's After Practice Margarita Mix. I don't know if you guys ever tried that.
Oh, practice.
No,
what is it called?
It was Allen Iverson's After Practice Margarita Mix.
Where?
then this one was when I
can't even find this stuff on Twitter. I'm like trying to find these things.
I remember this one. This one was from the mid '90s. It was Lenny Dykstra's Dude Juice.
Oh, geez.
Is that beer?
I'm not sure what that was. That might have been one of those early energy drinks.
It
was just called Lenny Dykstra's Dude
like
Juice.
spit.
Yeah,
Chaw.
like spit and dip into a bottle.
Yeah. Here's one. This has sort of got Philadelphia ties, but this was a late in career move. I think it was when they were trying to make some money because they were worried about some job security. This one was Buddy Ryan's Houston 5-Finger Death Punch. I think that was a local regional thing.
Did we have that at the Far Side in college?
I think we had the recipe. I don't know.
It's
if we
just
had the
Everclear and like Hawaiian Punch, basically. And
yeah, basically.
You know, I swear to God, Gene, if you did fact or fiction with these, I would have gotten them all wrong.
Yeah. Well,
now, Gene, is this list like exclusive to just cocktail releases? Or I think Larry Boa came out with a lip balm a few years back. That went over pretty well. It was a great stocking stuffer.
Well, here's one from the mid '80s. It was William Perry's Lukewarm Lager.
No, that's not a real thing.
Which was sort of sad considering he was called the refrigerator.
Wait, that's what it was called? Lukewarm Lager?
Yeah, Chicago's very close to Canada, and Canadians sometimes like warm beer. This is one that I think that they had at a Conshohocken, like one of those like microbrews. It was T.O.'s Driveway Double IPA.
I like that one, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Driveway.
This is one that they were trying to push as a national, more like a line. It was more like a product line, less of just one drink. It was called Pat Summerall's The Usual. It was just going to be on everything you could possibly drink.
I think these breweries just like to slap a label on it that people want. Like, I'll walk around with the Dallas Sucks beer.
Yeah,
like I don't care what it could be, natty ice.
You could just take the sponge from behind the thing and just squeeze it into a glass. If it says Dallas Sucks, I'll drink it.
Yeah, I'll walk around with that bottle all night. Like I don't care.
Here's a new one, relatively recent. It's Ben Simmons No Shot non-alcoholic vodka.
I like that.
That's pretty good.
Here's one. This is very popular, like basically everywhere except St. Louis. It's not popular in St. Louis, but it's popular everywhere else. It's called Joe Buck Sucks Whiskey Sour Mix.
That's not fair. Joe Buck does not suck.
He doesn't suck, but his, the ever-changing color of his hair or the face beard, the Sinbad dark face stubble. It constantly throws me off, but
that is the most tired narrative. Is like we hate Joe Buck.
I actually don't.
Joe
mind
Buck
Joe
wants
Buck,
our team to lose.
I do think Troy Aikman carved out a really nice, NFL commenting career partnering with Joe Buck.
Yeah, look.
I
Chris Collinsworth is the fucking worst.
Now,
you want to complain about someone? Let's talk about Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels. They suck. Are they still doing games?
Chris Collinsworth is. I don't know if
that is the worst. I'd rather listen to Mike Quick and Merle Reese than those two, and you know how I feel about them.
Yeah. Listen, did one of the ones that another one? Did I talk about the one? I think this was one of the first drinks I had when I was drinking in high school was Bono's malt liquor. Did I mention that one already?
Like
Bono's malt liquor,
like Bo Jackson.
Yeah, well, I mean, who else? Bo, who else?
You play Edward 40 hands Bono with those, Gene?
Of course. Another local Philly one. I think this one was strictly in South Philly bars in the 70s.
I told you, he really did his research.
It was
seriously. This list is extensive.
It was Bernie Perrant's Gaddy Maker.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nico, you ever play a game of Edward 40 hands?
I think we all played it together, didn't we? I think Nico, you used to have instead of 40s, you would use like kitchen mixing cups. I think
that did happen.
The issue is going to the bathroom. That's always the challenge.
That's always the trick. You have to have help. But here's my favorite. Here's my favorite. This is an obscure one. I think this was just in New York and Green Bay. It was Brett Favre's Button Fly Bourbon. Sort of a deep cut.
Stop.
I don't want to think about
Button
Brett
Fly
Favre's
Bourbon.
That probably tastes like gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way. All right.
So there you go.
Are there any more, Gene?
No, that was.
No, you got your camera back on. Gene's back.
That was what I could find. Yeah.
All right.
It'll come back eventually. Yeah, that's what I could find. I hope you guys appreciated my extensive research.
That was fun.
That was exceptional.
Yeah, I wish we had photographs though.
Yeah, I should have looked up some labels, but.
Nico, do you watch Cobra Kai?
You know what? I just had this conversation alongside my wife with friends of ours who were like rattling off like TV shows that we needed to watch.
Okay.
And Cobra Kai, we got like 3 episodes into the first series. Again, I'm probably going to lose some listeners or some vibes, but we just didn't buy it. We didn't buy it.
It's terrible.
We kind of checked out. But
I get it.
I'm willing to give it another shot. And I know that the second season's coming out. So
the fourth season.
The 4th season just came out. So
that just goes to show you how connected I even was in the beginning. I apologize in advance.
But were you a huge fan of like the original Karate Kid movie? I guess is also.
Yeah, of course I was. I'm a human being
so up
with
your
a
alley.
beating heart. Of course.
He's a red-blooded American.
Do you know what we are rewatching though for the 3rd time? The Wire.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Wire's great.
Good.
Yeah, greatest show on television.
All right.
Anyway, continue.
So
Cobra Kai.
You may have off next week, Nico. Gene, are we committed to doing this?
I'm committed. Yeah, I am.
All right, we're gonna
committed.
do. So
I'm gonna finish season 4 by the weekend,
Yeah.
so that I can construct this.
Okay. All right. So this is next week we're gonna do a field of 64 Cobra Kai characters.
Oh wow.
On the show, because we're gonna have nothing like the Eagles are gonna play a meaningless game against the Cowboys. We'll talk about it a little bit, maybe preview playoff matchup a little bit, but we really want to get into Cobra because we like to talk about the sports movies, sports pop culture touchstones. So we're gonna do field of 64 Cobra Kai characters and go through that. So that's gonna be fun. So it's gonna be riddled with spoilers. So.
Yeah, if you haven't been caught up.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe best if you sit that one out, take a breather. It's hard coming back. It's like when you make a New Year's resolution to go to the gym. It's like you go one day.
Yeah, and then you need like 3 weeks till you're not sore anymore, and then you can really deep dive back into it. But
yeah. So that's going to be next week. Any New Year's resolutions from you two?
From Gene.
It's mine's sort of the same one that I've been having is to maintain all of my limbs.
Okay, so what are we on? Like 40 years of success?
I mean, really, I've been making this resolution since 2012 when I found out that my body was putting those at risk. But
right.
Yeah, but no, we're good. Maintain all toes and all fingers every year for as long as possible.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to avoid overdoing it with sugar and staying out of gunfire. Those are the 2 things I mainly avoid.
Okay. Gotta watch those triglycerides.
Yes, and keep my hands and feet inside of the car at all times.
Yep. All right.
Nico, are you gonna finally give up smoking?
I gave up smoking a long time ago.
Well, we used that one up already.
So the last time that I ever gave up, it's like 6 years ago. But you know what? I didn't have a resolution this year, but last year's resolution was one that like resonated with a lot of people in my world, and they'll laugh at me now saying this, but I'm going to talk less and listen more. Oh. See how that went over. Like a lead balloon, but I tried.
You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right?
I think your resolution this year should be talk more and louder.
Talk more and louder. Gene, I'm holding you to it.
All right, good job, guys. Now I'll make mine the same as it's been the last like 2 years. Finish Earthbound for the SNES. All right, so we'll be back next Tuesday talking Cobra Kai, and a little bit of Eagles. I'm sure. If you haven't done so already, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, check us out on social media: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search Podadelphia. If you have any more time in your podcast listening day, be sure to check out the Whip Around for all the week's weird news. Also, check out the Painted Lines and the Philly Sports Alliance, both on Facebook and on YouTube, for your wall-to-wall Philly sports coverage. And until next week, have a great day at work, everybody. We are out of here.